Shalom, Yah, Bashim, Yah, Shabrakathan to the brothers. Yah, Shamar, Elatham, Bashim, Yah, Shah to the sisters. This is Priest and Officer Aharon. I'm with the I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General Yohanna. We teach that blacks, Hispanics, and natives people are the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and that Esau, the white man, is the devil the Bible speaks of. The topic for today is love the Most High in Christ, not the world. And that's what our problem is right now in this hellhole. We love our oppressor. We love our oppressor society. We love our oppressor's like a world over the Most High. We look to the white man and see if he approves before we're supposed to follow the Most High. If you follow the Most High, you won't break one law in this place. But for some reason, we look to, society, which is the white man's world, for him to put his stamp of approval and his way of life on what we do and how we operate when we shouldn't do that. We have our God. All we have to do is quit turning to the white man to do every damn thing. You want to vote and things of that nature. Do something different for a change and turn to God to get us freed from out of the slavery. So, that's why Christ has to be in charge, because if he's not in charge, it's just the whole planet is just in turmoil. And we need our king to come back to put the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and natives in charge of this place and show people how righteous men and women operate. So we're going to I'm going to hit you with some scriptures, of course. First scripture I'm going to go to is Salakia. We'll do 1 John, excuse me. 1 John, let's go 1 John 2 and 15. And it reads, love not the world. So the first part of the scripture says, love not the world. So, Christians don't understand the context of the word world. Right here is the Lord is telling you not to love the world. Why would he tell you not to love the world? Because the world is wicked. And the world has been given to Esau, to the white man. So if you love the world, you're gonna love Esau. You're gonna love the white man if you love this world. And that's the thing. He runs the world. The Most High gave him the world, to rule because of our sin. So at the end of the day, it says love not the world. Don't love Esau. Don't love the world. Don't love the society. Neither the things that are in the world. So you don't love, the things that are in it. What are some of the things that are in the world? Christianity. I don't know if you could say this, but homosexuality, the bent wrist community. You don't love that. That's a sin to, for two men or two women. And now it's then got so far out of control. They trying to teach the kids in the elementary school about, trans. They got the bathrooms got to be, transgender, all kinds. It's just a mess. You know what I mean? What else are some things that, are in the world that you shouldn't love? Adultery, this thing with twerking, shaking your behind. The sisters is, shaking their behind everywhere you go. I can't even turn on Facebook without a sister turning around, shaking her behind. You know what I mean? What else? Smoking weed. Don't love that. Don't love doing drugs. You know what I mean? Those are some of the things that are in the world that we just gravitate towards because we follow our oppressor. Not forgiving your brother or sister for if they do something to you. That's the way of your oppressor. You know what I mean? You don't supposed to take vengeance out on your brother and sister when you're supposed to forgive them like Christ said to do. And that's why he says 7 times 77 or 70 times 7. Because it's at the end of the day, there ain't no amount of times you're supposed to, and you ain't got to be their best friend at the end of the day if your brother or sister offended you. But there are steps you do, ways to tell that they offended you. And once they offended you, don't try to seek revenge and things of that nature. You know what I mean? You can forgive. You gotta forgive. You gotta forgive your brother. Ain't no amount of times if he, does something to you, just forgive him. So love not the world, neither the things in the world that are in the world. If any man love the world, so if you love this place, the love of the Father is not in him. So you can't love this world, or you're not going. You gotta pick a side. You can't be lukewarm. It's either hot or cold, like Yahweh Shai said. You know what I mean? You can't say, "Well, I love the world," and then how you can't love the Most High if you love the world. So, verse 16: For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of thy eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. So everything in this world is of Satan. You know what I mean? So Most High wants you to follow him, follow Christ, and you won't have to, you can lead it. And it's not real hard to do. It's not real hard to do. You gotta be taught. You gotta come into the school, because Christianity ain't going to teach you how to follow the Most High. I'll teach you how to follow Satan and the white man. That's what Christianity teach you. All these religions teach you. None of them teach you how to follow the Most High. None of them. You know what I mean? That's why we're in a bad spot. You know what I mean? That's why the Lord has been whooping our behinds since we've been over here, since before then, because of our sin. But I want to see when the tables turn and see our oppressor get his ass whooped by the Most High. That's what I want to see. I hope I'm around to see that. That'd be a hell of a day. I want to see the oppressor get his behind tore up like we've been getting ours torn up for not listening. You know what I mean? And but the thing is, the Most High, we deserve it, because we follow everything but the Most High. We follow Islam, Christianity, you name it, Egyptology. So yeah. Well, how do you think that's supposed to make the Most High feel when you horn yourself out to these other gods? You know what I mean? I know if my kids did that to me, I would feel pretty messed up. If you say you got all these other fathers, you got a father, and you talking about you got all these other fathers who don't love you. They're just using you. So let's skip to that. Let's skip down to I got another scripture for you. Let's go to Matthew 16 and 26. Matthew 16 and 26. And it reads, actually, this is basically, I'm just going to break it down. Don't sell your soul to Esau. You ever heard somebody say, he sold his soul to the devil? That's who you selling it to. For money. People do it for all kinds of reasons. For money. It's usually for some kind of gain. It's usually money. People will do anything for money. Brothers will sign contracts. And then this show you how wicked Esau is. You sign a contract and you get played. You might not get hardly no money. You know how they do. You can hear them. You can hear a million stories about artists sign contracts with Esau, and they don't see the money, or the money's slow, or it ain't enough money, and they're making $1 million times 10 off you, and you getting $50,000. And then they say, well, that's business. No, that ain't business, man. You ain't supposed to do no. But see, I expect that from Esau. I don't expect P. Diddy to do that. See, he's not supposed to do that to you. You know what I'm saying? Suge Knight is not supposed to rip you off. And all these other producers, they're not supposed to rip you off. Them is your brothers and sisters. But who do they follow? You know what I'm saying? Who they follow? Esau. They follow the white man. So they're going to treat you just like the white man treats you. You know what I'm saying? Act like they love you And all they want to do is use you, you know what I mean, for whatever they can get you for, and then say, hey, you know, you when I met you, you was only making you was making $10 an hour. I gave you $100,000 and you're complaining. Meanwhile, you done made $50 million off of me. That's how Esau worked. And he said, well, you got to read the contract better. 30, man, 30. So we're going to go to Matthew 16 and 16. I'm slock here. Matthew 16 and 26. And it reads, for what is a man profited? This is Yahushua speaking, is written in red. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world? Well, how do you gain the whole world? Fame, fortune, you know what I mean? You feel like you gain the world and lose his own soul. So you didn't sold out, basically. You'll do anything for the money, for the fame. If you got to put on something tight, if the sister got to put on something tight and shake her behind and make lyrics that destroy the little young girls, or maybe you got to get hooked on drugs or whatever. Maybe you got to it's like it sing songs that know damn well they're destroying the whole damn city, the whole community. But you got to do things like that just for money, just for some kind of gain for yourself. You don't care about your your brothers and sisters. All you care about is gaining yourself. And when you do that, you lose your soul. So it says, this is Matthew 16 and 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? That's the thing. What's worth your soul? Good night. Money? That's what most people do nowadays. They'll do anything for money. And it's sad, So they do sexual acts for money. You know what I mean? To be popular. You ain't no telling. You talk to a lot of these sisters, especially older women or younger women who's in the adult industry, like entertainment and things of that nature, just to get that fame. They'll do anything. They do sexual things. They get on. Just for money and destroy your kids. And then when it's all said and done and they've been ripped off and been ran through, now they feel sorry. It's too late now, sis. Can't do that. You gotta put them commandments first, and law, statutes, commandments. Tell Esau keep his money. Everybody need money. I get it, but don't sell your decisions. Don't sell your soul for it. You know what I mean? So we'll read that one more time. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? So that's something you got to think about when you come to signing contracts with Esau or any kind of business dealing for gain. You got to always look at who you're going to be hurting. You know what I mean? And is it good for your community? Is it good for blacks, Hispanics, and natives? All right, let's go to let's stay there. Let's go to Matthew 22, and we'll start at 36. Is that where? Yeah, 36. 22 and 36. All right. This is somebody, I think this is the Sadducees and Pharisees talking to Yahushua. It says, Master, which is the Salaka? It says, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? And Yahweh says, verse 37, Yahweh said unto them, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. So how do you love the Most High with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind? You follow the law, statutes, and commandments to a T. That's how you love the Most High. You don't, do it halfway. You don't smoke cigarettes. You don't smoke weed. You don't commit adultery. You don't love the Most High then. You got to do it with all your mind, all your spirit, all your heart. That's how you love him. You listen to what he told you to do. Verse 38, this is the first and great commandment. So loving God, that's why you ever hear somebody say God's supposed to come first. That's true. God comes first. The Most High comes first. 39, and the second is like unto it. So there's another one. There's another one. So there's two. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So when it says thy neighbor, they don't mean, another nation of people next door to you. They mean an Israelite next door to you. And they don't even mean next door to you. Just your brother. You know what I'm saying? Just your brother. It don't have to be something like, I've actually heard Christians, and I know this for a fact, they actually think they're talking about your next door neighbor, whoever lives next door to you, one door down. You know what I'm saying? And he's not talking about one door down. Love your brother and sister, man. Period. You know what I'm saying? So this is the first and great commandment. 39. The second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So how do you love a neighbor like yourself? I don't steal from you. You don't steal from me. We don't sleep with each other's women. I don't sell you drugs. You don't sell me drugs. You know what I mean? You know, if you need something, help with food or clothing, you help, vice versa. It goes both ways. If you want help, you got to give some help sometimes. That's how it goes. You don't let you see your brother hurt and you don't help him. You know what I mean? So there's a number of different things, but you just basically, you want to treat your brothers and sisters like you would want to be treated. You know what I mean? Verse 40, on these two commandments, the first one, love God with all that heart and that soul and that mind, and love your neighbor like you love yourself. Those two, on these two commandments hang all the law of the prophets. So if you follow those two, you'll be able to follow every law, statute, commandment in the Bible. That's all you got to do is them two, because everything else is going to fall right in place. It's like a hanger. You put a hanger in there, you got love God with all your might, all your mind and soul, and then you got love your neighbor, love your brother, and everything is like you putting everything on that hanger. All the commandments just hang right on that hanger in the closet. And you'll be able to follow. That's why it says in the scripture, Slaki, that's why it says in the scripture that, it's not hard, it's not grievous to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because if you follow those two, you'll be able to follow them all. They all fall under those two laws, all those two commandments, Slaki. So let's go to Slaki. Let's go to Mark 7. Mark 7 and 5. And it reads, then the Pharisees and scribes asked him, why walk not thy disciples according to the traditions of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands? Now, this is one of them scriptures that the Christians take, obviously, and they use this scripture so they can eat pork. Usually, well, not just pork, but we always talk about them eating. It's usually, but that's what it is. But they want to eat whatever they want to eat. They don't want to eat what the Most High tell you not to eat or what to eat. So they use this particular scripture and twist it. And I blame you. You have to blame the pastor on this one, because he should know better. He should not teach this. So he's using a scripture about dirty hands, and Christ saying, basically, it's not what goes in with the fowls of man. So he's using that to justify you eating pork, crab, shrimp, lobster, and all the other unclean foods. So I'm gonna just start again, and we'll start with Mark 7 and 5. Then the Pharisees and scribes asked him, why walk not thy disciples according to the traditions of the elders? So they basically want you to follow the traditions and not what the Most High say, not what Christ say. So but eat bread with unwashed hands. Now they mad. They ain't washed their hands. Yahushua, he answered and said unto them, well, have Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, this people honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. So you always hear people talking about Jesus this, Jesus that, all day long, but their minds, their hearts, far away from because they don't do anything he tell you to do. So it's just talk, and you know what they say, talk is cheap. Verse 7, howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. So you following behind men and not following behind what Christ is telling you what to do. Verse 8, for laying aside the commandments of God, that's what they do. They don't follow the commandments of God, but they worrying about the traditions of men. Ye hold the traditions of men as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. Verse 9, and he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of God, that ye may keep your own traditions. See, that's following man, not following the Most High. Verse 10, Salakia. We'll skip down. We're going to go to 10. Let's see if there's some more meat on this bone. Salakia. All right, here it is. So I knew it was in there. So let's go down to 18. And he said unto them, are ye so without understanding also? Do ye not perceive that whatsoever thing from without entering into the man, it cannot defile him? Verse 19, because it entereth not into his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out in the draught, purging all meat. Purging all meat. And verse 20, and he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defile the man. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornication, and murders, thieves, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, lasciviousness, and evil eye, blasphemy, pride, and foolishness. And all these things come from within and defile the man. But they use this scripture to say you can eat what you want. That's wicked. And you have to put that on the steps of the Christian church. That is not what that is saying. That's not saying you can eat. Obviously, Christ ain't teaching you can eat whatever you want. When he said he ain't destroyed the laws or the prophets. So obviously this is talking about something else. This is not talking about eating whatever you want to eat. He said, I didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets. So why would you do that? Why would you have millions and millions of people then went to their grave thinking that you can eat pork? Man, wicked. Good night. So, yeah, that's just a scripture that, and usually Christians know, they know. A lot of them know. They're stuck following behind the white man. And then once you get turned on to his way of life, for some reason, they just have a hard time changing. And, that pig is just a nasty ass animal. And not even if it wasn't nasty, even if it was the cleanest animal in the world, if the Most High tell you not to eat it, then damn, he said he changeth not. So if he says not to eat it, they think Christ came so you can eat it. It's a good night. You can eat a ham sandwich because Christ come now. You can eat the ham sandwich now. Good night. All right, let's skip to 1 John 5 and 3. 1 John 5 and 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So you can't, if you don't keep his commandments, you don't love God. That's the bottom line. You know what I mean? And it says his commandments aren't hard to keep, which they are not. Now, if you taught as a Christian, you're going to think it's impossible to follow the laws of God. But, you start talking to Christians and they say, well, do you follow? And they've asked me, you follow the law? I said, yeah. All of it? Yeah, I follow it all. Impossible. Nobody could be. I mean, why can't you? If you could follow all the laws in the United States, why couldn't you follow? Excuse me, Slakia. Why can't you follow the laws of God? What law can't you follow? He didn't make no laws that you couldn't follow. You don't want to follow them. That's the bottom line. You want to follow man, and that's what our problem is. We got to quit trying to follow what Esau has said to do and his way of life, and go back to our own. We don't even know our culture. We don't even know where the hell we think we Africans still. A lot of brothers, man. You know what I mean? And we don't look like them. We don't smell like them. We don't act like them. You know what I mean? We are a total different. We are not Hamites. You know what I mean? We are totally separate from them. And the Lord also, told us to be separate, to be holy. Christians don't know what the word holy mean. They think it's just something in the sky or something. I don't know. You ask a Christian. I might even do an interview. I might start interviewing these Christians, man. That'd be a good idea. Start interviewing these Christians and start asking them simple questions that you learn that I didn't know until I came into the truth. And one of the first things I've learned when I was coming into the truth was what the word holy meant. And I never knew that it mean, set apart, to sever, we're supposed to be separate. I never knew. I just thought it would meant like, of God, somebody say, holy smoke, I just thought it was, I didn't know it means to be separate. And once I learned that changes the whole dynamic of this. Just that one word changes the whole dynamic of the scriptures. Everything, now you see the word, the Bible, it says Holy Bible, separate records. That it just changes the whole look of it. So that now that's one word. Now imagine all the other words that we use and we think it means something else and it doesn't. And now I got an idea. I'm gonna do a class on different words that Christians use that they have no idea what the true meaning of the words are. I'm gonna definitely do a class on that. And I'm going to study real good because there's a bunch of words that you don't know mean what the true meaning of these words mean. You know what I mean? And a lot of the misconceptions that Christians, and we always talk about Christians and I.S.U.P.K. because, they got us, the majority of the world are Christian, and it's wrong. It's wrong to be a Christian. You know what I mean? You can't say you love the Most High, but you do the opposite of what he say to do. Then you got a black man or black king, Slakia, and you don't follow. He showed you how to follow the law, and you don't listen to him either. So you just follow yourself. You do what you want to do, and then once you do what you want to do, you cry, and then you want to pray to the Most High, but you really ain't even praying to him. He don't even know you at that point. You know what I'm saying? When you get jammed up, you praying to him. You know what I mean? So that's one thing you can't do is think, you call on the Most High when you're in a jam. But so I've seen the strippers get in a circle. Right before they strip, they start praying to God. I'm like, wow. They praying for, thousands of dollars that night. Like the Most High is really going to bless them. Yeah, they get money, but it ain't, but the Most High ain't giving it to them. You know what I mean? How wicked is that? They get in a prayer circle, hold hands, and pray for $5,000 bills. And you got a house full of wicked ass niggas out there waiting for somebody's daughter to come out and shake their behind so they can throw them money. Man, that's a wicked ass place, man. That stripper, that's rough, man. You know, just really prostituting our daughters, and it says that in the scripture, don't prostitute our daughters because I'm paraphrasing, because the land will turn into whoredom, and that's what this land has definitely became. Nothing but whores. And, I mean, not just women. And I'm not just picking on women. It's not just whoredom with women. It's whoredom with us not being true and loving the Most High the way He deserves to be loved, the way He commands us to be. You horn with another religion, with the Arabs. You horn with the East Indians when you want to get dreadlocks and you want to get well, they smoke weed and do dreadlocks and all that type of stuff. You horn with Islam when you want to, I don't know, put the kufi on their head and celebrate all these, all their holidays. You horn with the Christian God, Caesar Borgia, when, you celebrate birthdays. Your wrist is bent. You're doing everything but what you should be doing. And that's Shalaki, and that's the follow the law, statute, commandments. So, we have to definitely, and it's up to the men, because the women ain't gonna never. If it ain't up to us, if the men don't turn this ship around, we're doomed. Because the women they'll never do it. They just follow whoever's in charge. They don't care, as long as they can get a crumb. As long as they can get, and they'll never change their ways. They'll just get worse and worse, like they've been doing. But the men have to. Our head is Christ. You know what I mean? And we have to follow Christ. And if we follow Christ, our women will change. Our women will change. But it starts in this I.S.U.P.K under command of GEN.YAHANNA. You can't change people in the Christian church by dunking them in some water. Imagine being the third person or fourth person that goes in that pool with that water after, people done got it. That's the nasty water there. Ain't nothing holy about that water. It's definitely separate. Yeah, so you're not going to dunk somebody in the water and they come up and then they don't smoke weed no more. That doesn't happen. That's not even, They always want some magic to happen. Some people don't change overnight. When you come to this truth, sometimes it takes a couple months, but once the Spirit of the Lord is on you, it will change you if you want to change. If the Lord, just to get this information is definitely big. So at the end of the day, that's what you want to do. You want to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, and I'll finish up with that. And Shalom.